Hello all, welcome back to your English class. This is module number 31, and in this module we'll be discussing the important questions from the chapter The Laburnum Top written by Ted Hughes. Let us first look at the textbook questions given in page number 32. Question number 1. What do you notice about the beginning and the ending of the poem? Answer. The poem begins with silence and stillness on the top of the laburnum tree. The poem ends with the singing of the tree into old silence and stillness. We have already mentioned this in the previous module. The poem begins on a very melancholic note. The laburnum is described as standing silent and still. There is no sign of movement and seeds have already fallen, indicating autumn season. There was a change in the tree with the arrival of the goldfinch, but again, at the end of the poem, the tree subsides to empty or it becomes silent again. So, in the beginning and in the end, the laburnum tree is still and silent. Moving on to the second question. To what is the bird's movement compared? What is the basis for the comparison? Answer. The goldfinch's movement is compared to that of a lizard. The basis of the comparison is the sleek, abrupt and alert movements of a lizard. The same kinds of movements are observed when the goldfinch arrives on the laburnum tree. I hope it's clear. Moving on to the third question. Why is the image of the engine evoked by the poet? Answer. The engine is the source of energy to run a machine. It is compared to a bird as she is to a source of energy for her family. As without engine, a machine can't work. In the same way, without a bird, her family cannot survive. Question number 4 in your textbook is purely subjective. They have asked you about what you like most in the poem. I want all of you to think about it and note down the same. Now we are moving on to the fifth question in your textbook. The question is, what does the phrase her barred face identity mask means? So there are two possible answers for this question. Let us have a look at both the probable answers. First answer. This is an example of the poetic device transferred epithet. Have you heard this word transferred epithet before? It is actually a poetic device. So, transferred epithet is used when an adjective that usually describes one thing is transferred to another. Here, the laburnum tree has flowers that fall like bars, and when the bird sits behind the flowers, the shadow on her face looks like she is wearing a mask that has bars on it. So here the shadow of the flowers is mentioned here. So barred is actually an adjective for the flowers and has been transferred from there and applied to the bird. Now let us look at the second probable answer. The second answer would be the bird mentioned in the poem has black markings similar to a mask. Looking beyond the physical, it seems to refer to the fact that her family sees her as she truly is. Throughout the day, she may wear many masks, but, however, it is impossible to hide one's true self at the end of the day. Meaning, though the bird has to go far away and search for food, the bird reveals her true self in front of her young ones. She never hides the love and care that she has for them. I hope it's clear. Moving on to the next question. These are some of the important questions that you can expect for your board exams. Question: how is the tree transformed during the bird's visit? Answer: after the goldfinch arrives on the tree, the silent and still laburnum tree suddenly starts trembling and moving. The whole tree comes to life as the chicks of the goldfinch make a lot of noise as they chitter and trill on seeing their mother. Moving on to the next question. So, the next question is, why is the poem named The Laburnum Top? Answer: the poem has been named The Laburnum Top because the top of the laburnum tree has been described in detail in the poem. It is on the top of the laburnum tree that the nest of the goldfinch is located and where all the activity takes place when the goldfinch visits the nest. So we have gone through all the important questions based on the poem The Laburnum Top, which I'll discuss further during the interactive classes. Thank you.